Welcome to Jeff's Sunday Talk. So today I have a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about do you have to have uniforms? And on the end there I have the whiteboard where I wrote down my goals of this year, and I want to talk about where I'm at this point. It's not the end of the year, but I want to just show where I'm at this point. And got the yard signs out there. I want to talk a little bit about that. So right now I feel like I have about as many jobs as I need. I could probably take on a little bit more. I figure I'm probably not going to pick up very many more the rest of the year. You never know. I mean, probably pick up some cleanup jobs, stuff like that. As far as mowing, probably not pick up very many, but you never know. But I think what I'm going to do starting next year is I've got some jobs that I'm going to go up on. I don't go up on everybody every year. I go up on a percentage of them, and then the following year, I'll go up on another percentage of them. But I'm going to end up with putting my signs out at the beginning of the year, just because when I go up on my customers, anytime you go up on them, you have to figure that you're going to lose a few of them. And so I'm going to have the signs out there to where if I do, when I do, I can replace them. But the good thing about that is before I used to be in the paper where I'd go farther out and everything. Now I feel like I get enough work off my signs because I'm lucky to live off a main road, and I put my signs out there, and I usually get a lot of calls from that. So instead of going out farther, I just go by the signs, and I get a lot closer jobs. So when I go up on some jobs, a few of them that I'm gonna go up is farther out. I don't want to lose them, but I'll probably end up going up on them $5 a cut, where it kind of make up on the gas and driving out there as far. Hopefully I'll get to keep them, but if something happens I do lose them, then with the signs I'm hoping that I'll be able to get closer jobs, at the as my rates go up and everything. I should be getting better paying jobs, and then them being closer by doing it that way. At least that's what I'm hoping. But okay, I was wanting to talk about the uniforms. So I've got this hat. I wear it quite a bit, so you may have seen me wearing it. And then as of right now, got it all dirty. I just wear a red shirt with it. I don't have my logo on the back, which that's something I'm wanting to do maybe next year. But with the hat, I would say, with uniforms, of course, you don't have to have uniforms. But if you're out there trying to get top money on the jobs that you're doing, I think the more professional you look, the more chances that you could get you know, the top money on the job. You know, if you're starting out and you can't afford to get, you know, a lot of the uniforms, or you just don't want to spend that much on uniforms, you want to put it on the equipment, which, you know, to me, I definitely would make sure you got the equipment and everything before I got the uniforms. Because if you don't have the job or the mowers and the equipment to do the jobs, then, you know, what good's your uniform going to be? But one thing I would recommend, and like I'm doing that right now, I've got other uniforms, but a lot of times I get tired of wearing the same color uniform and everything, so I try to mix it up a little bit. But, you know, if you're wanting to try to keep the cost down, to me, I would suggest you can go and get hats made. You really don't have to go and buy a bunch of hats. This one here I had made. It was actually at the mall here by where we live. It's got the American flag, of course, and then I just had it was red with the American flag, and then I had them put the Jeff's Lawn and Landscaping on. Got the YouTube on the side of it. The hat was a little bit more expensive because of the American flag. To be honest, I asked for the hat for my birthday last year. So actually, the hat was bought for me for my birthday. I actually forgot about that, but I ended up going back and having them put the YouTube on the side of it. But I asked the guy how much it would be if I wanted to get another one, which, you know, I'd like to, because I feel like I've got this out there, and you know, I'd like to stick with that if I can. But he said it was, you know, with all this, it'd be about $50, which is a little high I think for one hat. Not saying he's too expensive or anything, but I mean, you can get it cheaper. But you know, I added things to it like the YouTube thing, and then with the flag, it makes it more. But you could go and get just a plain red hat, and, you know, if you didn't have the YouTube on there and just had your business name on there, you know, I'm guessing probably around $30–35 or something. But you could go and get that, and you know, just the one hat, and do like me, whatever the color of the hat is or whatever, you can go with that color shirt. And I mean, to me, I would feel like this would look more like a uniform, even though the red shirt don't have the logo on the back of it. And this is actually the uniform that I've had for a while. It's getting a little worn and stuff. And then I got shirts, regular shirts. This is a hooded jacket, actually, zip-up jacket. And then this one here, I actually bought myself and had made at the same place. And I'm wanting to say this was about $35, which, you know, that's not too bad. But it's plain blue hat with, you know, yellow lettering, Jeff's Lawn and Landscaping, and then my phone number. So, I mean, that might be something if you're trying to keep the cost down to do. And then, like I said, if it's like this, you can go get you just a plain blue shirt if you wanted to, and then later on go and get more of your uniforms. But I've showed these, but I just wanted to kind of get into the, you know, is it important to have uniforms and everything, and show some of what I have. But like I said, you could start out not have uniforms, you know, but later on, you know, if you're in it a year or two and you want to try to look a little bit more professional, and you know, it might be something you might want to look at later on, or just go with the hat and the plain shirt right off and not have as much in it. So, and then we'll get the whiteboard out. Let's see, I don't know with the sun here if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but so this is where I'm at right now. Still got a little while to go, and hopefully some of it will get a little bit better. But don't mind this, but this is what my wife put on there. It says, "I love you, you got this." So when I ended up putting my goals on there, she come home and seen it, and she put that on there. And if you have somebody that you're with and they support you, it's definitely a plus. It's been a plus. My wife's backed me, you know, when I go to do things, encouraging me and telling me that, you know, you can do this and everything. And I really appreciate that, because, you know, anytime somebody's encouraging you, and, you know, you can think, okay, I can do this, but when somebody's telling you you can do this, it just pushes me even farther to hear that, and to know that somebody else has got confidence in me too, and reassures me more. So that's a plus. But I've got a payoff trailer. So I got a check mark there. I ended up getting that paid off a few months ago. And then pay the walk behind off. I still owe $583.33 on that. So the year's not up. I'm still working on that. So hopefully I'll get that paid for. I could pay for it now. I have the money to do it. But I like, you know, I've been doubling up on the payment, and you never know. I don't want to get too low with the money in the bank, just in case, you know, something happens. But anyways, I got it down to $583.33. Buy backpack blower. I haven't got a backpack blower. The year's not over. May not reach it. I don't know. I mean, it's reachable. I could go and get one if I wanted to right now, but we'll wait and see on that. Buy dump trailer, and with that, I don't want to say it wouldn't happen, but more than likely it probably won't, with this being this late in the year. And then another thing, I put it on here, but I ended up kind of backing off of doing that right now, just because I haven't been getting as many shrub trimming jobs and stuff, and I just don't feel like it would be, I mean, I could use it, but I want to build up my shrub trimming jobs more, where I can use it more and it pay for itself. As of right now, I mean, I think it would pay for itself, but I think I can do without having it right now, with, you know, just using my pickup truck right now. But we'll see. You never know. And then one thing I'm really happy with is I was wanting to get 50 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. And I actually wanted to get 100. My wife was saying maybe you ought to say 50, because she figured, you know, 50 would be, of course, a little easier to get to, and she thought maybe, or we kind of thought, you know, 100 would be, you know, a little higher, because when I wrote this down, I really didn't have, I don't know, I might have been around 20 something subscribers. Wasn't really moving very fast on getting more at the time. So anyways, we end up putting 50 on there, but right now I have 92 subscribers, so I'm pretty happy with that. So maybe 100 wasn't out of reach as much as I thought. So I'm hoping, you know, by the end of the year I'll hit 100. Hopefully it'll be more than that. But yeah, just wanted to kind of go over that a little bit. And I think when you go to at the beginning of the year or whenever in the year, I think it'd be good to make goals. I like making them and seeing where I'm at the end of the year or going through the year, like I said, and like now, and see where I get. I really don't like making all my goals easy to hit, because to me, if you do that, I feel like I'm not pushing myself as much. You know, if you make them all reachable, even when you reach them, I mean, it's good. It's a goal that you hit, but at the same time, you know, I want to put goals on there that is going to be hard to reach. Possibility, maybe put a few on there that I feel like I'm not going to be able to reach. And just like when I kind of lowered my subscribers, you know, I lowered 50 because I thought 100 might be out of reach. And here I'm at 92, and, you know, not saying that as bragging, because there's a lot of people that's got a lot more than that. But I like putting the higher goals on there to where you just never know. And if you don't hit it, then, you know, there's always next year. You can say, okay, I didn't hit that goal, but we'll put it on next year, and it gives you, you know, it gives you something to try to get to, you know. And then sometimes you hit these goals that you're thinking that you're not going to hit, and it really builds your confidence up. You're thinking, well, I thought that was like an out of reach goal, and I ended up hitting it, and oh man, where can I go now? So like I said, I wouldn't set all the goals easy. I'd make some hard goals, but at the same time, don't look at it as like I have to hit every goal. Or you know, it's a failed year, you know. So I definitely don't feel that way. And even with the dump trailer, more likely I probably won't end up getting a dump trailer this year. You know, I just don't feel like it's a good investment at this time. I'm not using that for an excuse because I'm not going to hit the goal. But at the same time, I want things to be situated where it's a good decision to do it too. Don't be just doing it just because it's your goal and you want to hit it. It needs to be a good decision, and you know, if I'm gonna pay each month for that trailer, I want it to be paying for that monthly payment and more. It's got to pay for itself, or I shouldn't be getting it. You know, everybody, there's a lot of people out there that'll say, oh, well, you know, you should get this, you should get that. It's an investment. Well, it might be an investment, but you don't want to just do it just because it's an investment. You want to do it because it's a good investment, an investment that will pay you back. But, you know, when I get on here and talk and stuff, this is just my opinion. You may not agree with everything I say, but I just like putting my opinion out there, and, you know, so you can take my opinion and go with it, or do things the way you think, and, you know, maybe it'll pay off where you know, some things I think may not pay off for me. So you just never know. But all right, yeah, I was wanting to show you my signs here too. All right, so here's one of the signs. It's actually I have the shrub and hedge trimming on there. A lot of times this time of the year I try to put that out there and push that instead of the mowing as much. I'll still take mowing, but this time of the year, it's like you pretty much have the most of the mowing at this time. You know, there's not as many people probably going to be asking for it because they have who they want or whatever. And then this here is what I usually start out at the beginning of the year. You know, it don't have shrub trim and stuff. It just, and of course the Jeff's Lawn and Landscaping, and that's where I try to push more of the mowing at the beginning of the year. But yeah, like I said, I always like trying to get, or I say a lot of times, I try to get more jobs than what I want. You know, like say if I usually stay around 35 to 40 jobs a week, and that's by myself. If I had a helper a little while this year, if I end up having a helper, I like trying to push it a little bit more than that. But I try not to get it too many to where, you know, it may be pushing it for one person. You know, if I end up hiring somebody, I'm okay with that, but I don't want it to be out of reach to where if I have trouble getting help, you know, if my helper quits on me or whatever, that I can't do it on my own. Or even if you have a little bit too many, you know, you could downsize back to that and not have to downsize so much. So I like keeping it in the range for a one-man crew. But anyways, like I said, when if I end up going up on some customers, I look to probably lose a few, and I put these signs out there and pick them up, pick some new ones up to replace them, because I definitely don't want to get, you know, too low. Like I say, I like being around 35 to 40, but I definitely don't like being under 30. I feel like anything under 30 is a little less than where I'm comfortable. But you know, like I said, it could kind of vary to 30 to 40. I'm not sure exactly how many I have now, but like I said, I think it's about 35, 37, somewhere around in there. I had up to 42 at one time, and I felt like it was a little too much. So I really don't want to go over 40 right now if I'm by myself. But a lot of that too is when I had 42 jobs, they were stretched out farther, so it was a little harder on me because it took a little longer, of course, driving farther out and everything. Where, like I said, I'm getting most of my jobs a little closer to where I think if I get up closer to 40, it may not be as hard on me. And a lot of that too, you know, I go by how many jobs I have, but I go by how big the jobs are too. So if you have bigger jobs, of course, it's going to make a little bit more to where I feel like, you know, you don't have to have as many. But if you have smaller ones, you might want to be closer to that 40. You know, because you got to do a little bit more. And then too, I dropped a little bit from 42, but some of the jobs that I was getting ended up being better paying jobs. So actually, I felt like I was down a little bit per job, but I was making more than what I was making when I had more jobs. So, you know, I kind of look at it as, you know, you want to, like I said, stay around that certain amount of jobs, but look at the how much you're making too. You know, if you're down a little bit, to me, you know, like I said, I was getting a little down because I was down on the jobs. But then when I got to looking at, okay, I'm making more than what I was making then, so I was like, well, I'm not going to worry as much about it. So, all right, well, I appreciate you watching this, and I appreciate if you check out some of my other videos and like and subscribe. Thank you.